You cannot afford to miss a single moment of the next hour. Get ready to have your ideas about sexuality, love, and relationships blown wide open. It's time to get educated, entertained, and enlightened, as well as sexually empowered. You have now tuned into the Tantra Love, Sex, and Intimacy Show. Now, here's your host, Tanya Diamond.
Woohoo! It's me, and guess what? This is it.
The last show.
The last
Oh my God.
show. Do you guys get that out there in radio
This is
land?
the last show.
The last show. The last
But does that mean you're gone?
It doesn't.
Moving on? You're doing your Europe tour?
No. Universal tour. The
Universal
tour of the universe.
You'll be touring the universe?
No, look, I'm not dying, okay? So I'm not dying.
Oh,
well, we're all
this isn't
dying,
the
but I'm
last
not.
show.
No, it's not like the last show because, I'm dead after this or something like that.
Right.
This is the last radio show on Contact Talk Radio. And you know what? Let me not say it's the last show on Contact Talk Radio because, you just don't know about things. You never say it's the end until you're dead. But the plan is that I'm not coming back on this radio station, at least for this foreseeable future.
Okay.
So next Thursday, when you're all like, woo, I'm going to listen to Tanya, I'm not here, okay? I'm not here. Now, some of you were smart last week when I told you, hey, you don't want to miss this because I'm actually going to be on TV, but not regular TV. You're not going to be able to go to your Comcast cable and go, blick, 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 where's Tanya? No.
No?
If you do not go to learningtantra.com and sign up in the little box, your email, your name, you won't get the email from me that tells you how to find me on TV.
Ooh, being
That's
a little
right.
secretive, a little elusive.
Woo! Well, I guess you could Google me and you'll eventually find me.
Excited.
Yeah, exactly right. The mystery of it all. I
love a little chase.
But learningtantra.com, learningtantra.com. Do you got that? Go,
Is that
sign up. Tantra.com. Tantra is Tantra. Yeah, how do you spell that? learningtantra.com. And you can still go to Contact Talk Radio right now. You can click on the link. It'll go there. You can hit me up on Facebook, Tanya, Tanja Diamond, Tanya Diamond. You can Google me. You'll find me too. And but whatever you do, get that information. Get off your bike right now, or stop your run, or whatever it is you're doing. Get out of bed, the bath, the shower, because we know you're listening to me on your. You people, there are over 100,000 of you listening to me and my series. Do you realize that? All over the world. That is a lot of you people. That over that, you guys are listening to me. And what I want you to know is that this is it. And you've had a great time. You've learned a lot of stuff, but this isn't anything. This is, we've been talking about things, but I'm actually going to a series. I'm creating a series.
A series?
A series. I'm creating some amazing, amazing stuff. And you are not going to want to miss it. Because, some of you think, wow, she has the sexiest voice. I know you write me and tell me, wow, your voice is so sexy. I can't stand it. And, maybe you don't want to blow the fantasy. Maybe it's better to just look at my picture there and think about the sexy voice, and you don't actually want to see me on TV. Actually see me wandering around talking in that sexy voice on TV. But maybe some of you do.
Wandering around?
Wandering
around the house in a bathrobe or not?
I don't know. Is it reality series TV?
Okay.
I don't know. And you won't know either unless you find me and find out where I'm going to be. It's going to be starting pretty soon. So you just don't want to miss. We have big things going on with Learning Tantra and, of course, launching Modern Tantra later this year. And you don't want to miss out on any of that. So, maybe you're just a listener. Mm-hmm. Maybe you're just one of those people that's, downloaded me on your iTunes thing and, you don't really care.
Okay.
And you know what? Thank you so much for doing that. And thanks for being here this whole time. We've been on a year and a half. Mm-hmm. And started in 2008. Lots of great interviews, lots of great stuff. Oh, yeah, and that's right, because that's all going to be coming down off of iTunes, too.
Really?
And all those archives of all those radio shows, and you just found me. Maybe you just found me like 3 days ago. Because there's like over 10,000 people signing up a month.
Nice.
And so you're one of those people that are like, but wait,
wait a
minute, I dig her. You don't have to lose me. learningtantra.com. Sign up, email, put your email address in there, and then you'll be, directly linked to whatever it is I'm doing. And, and it'll be TV, but it'll be special TV. I'm not going to do, not that kind of TV, Joshua.
Oh.
Sam, Joshua, my God, you guys,
Not
come
like the
on.
Special Olympics?
No, not even like that, but not that like special webcam TV, for women. No, I'm not doing that.
Personal.
Nah, yeah, come on, guys.
View cam.
It's you wandering around, right?
Yeah, that's me wandering around.
Like Road Warrior style wandering?
No, this is like TV. You're going to be serious. I'm interviewing people, cool stuff like that. No, I'm not going to be naked. I'm sorry. That's not the kind of wandering and TV I'm talking about.
So it's going to be nothing like this radio show.
Well, of course it's going to be something like this radio show. Except it'll be more fun. There'll be more interesting things, and you'll get to watch all my animation.
Where will this take place?
Well, you'll have to find out.
On location.
On location.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Different places on location. And, anyway. So you want to be there. So what are we going to... Josh, you're here. You bailed on me last week. What's up with that? I
was house sitting and dog sitting for someone, and I was running back and forth to Seattle, and I got back and took care of the dog, and I was like, oh, man, I just need to pause for a moment. And at about 7:30, I was like, I was supposed to be somewhere tonight. And I know where that was I was supposed to be.
Where could that have been? I've only been doing this for how many months
supposed to be
now?
on the radio.
Oh, yeah. Oops. Wow. I think
with the weeks of both of us having different sicknesses, I totally got my rhythm, out of whack. I'm glad I paused and thought about it for the moment because I was going to say something else.
Good. Because, we are one of the few shows that has not been, getting in trouble.
We've only
with
been
those
bleeped
words.
a few times.
Yeah, those words that you're not allowed to use on the radio. Yeah, and that's funny, that we're the sex show and we don't get in trouble with that kind of stuff. I think it's pretty funny.
Right.
So
right. my regrets and sincere apologies.
Okay.
You can.
The poor listeners if they started the show last week, they're just like not even interested. I don't care that you're going. Guy? I don't care that you're going off the radio.
They don't even know.
What's up with you? We went from me ranting about modern tantra to sexual abuse after the break. Intense sexual abuse. Talking with my old friend of mine whom Did you end up hearing the last part of the show?
I did not.
So my guest didn't show either until the last half of the show.
Okay.
And so Max rescued me at midpoint. We started talking about sexual abuse like we had been talking about before.
Right.
And then our guest popped on, and I said, so what do you know about this? And he's like, well, and he goes off, and apparently he keeps getting women that were sexually abused, and then they start to heal, and then they take it out on him. And we were able to explain to him what's going on, and apparently for the first time in 5 years, he finally got it, and now he feels relieved. And so in about 20 minutes, we we did something really good.
Has he resolved his issue or begun to resolve his issue?
Yeah, he said he felt amazing the first time in 5 years. He felt like he kind of understood what happened, and now he could go on and, trust again and all the rest of that. So that was kind of cool. They're going to be airing, Max and I did a video documentary. We were part of a video documentary on sexual abuse, and that's going to be May 7th, that's coming out at the event that these people are putting on. And now that I've told you that, I have no idea who these people are.
Is it on your website or something like that?
No. Interestingly enough, it's not. So, I guess, I don't know, you could go Seattle events or something like that May 7th and find out if there's some type of...
We'll probably be posting something on the website about that.
Yeah, I should probably post something on Facebook.
Once again, at learningtantra.com or Tanja Diamond on Facebook, Tanja. Diamond. And, of course, Twitter. I'm Tantra Teacher Twitter. You can follow me there as well. So, yeah, come on, do hook up. I'm about to lose my capacity for friends here on Facebook and head to a fan page pretty soon. But, so it's been a year and a half. We have talked about men. We have talked about women. We have talked about sex. We've talked about relationships. We've talked about some stuff that's not related to any of that, I think, at some times. Yeah, we do our best.
Yeah, we've talked about sound healing and nutrition and...
I really like that nutrition show.
You like that, the Naughty Nutritionist?
Naughty Nutritionist, yeah. Now everybody's looking for that archive.
Right, the Naughty Nutritionist, who is that? And what was she talking about?
You want to improve your libido and the libido of your partner?
Yeah.
Check into that nutrition
Just make sure you don't eat soy.
Yeah, don't eat soy.
Gotta get soy out of your diet.
And you need to get healthy fat in your diet.
Yeah, or your hormones just aren't working.
Or she won't want you.
That's right. Yeah, just think about that. So, what do you think? I mean, what has been the most compelling topic in a year and a half that we've talked about? What is
Well, I mean, as a guy, in particular with springtime coming up, It is, men's libido.
Are you looking at yourself in that mirror?
No, I'm looking out. I always have to look out. I'm kind of ADD, and I look near and far, and I have to watch the door to protect, and all kinds of weird, funny quirks, primal quirks, and that's why you love me.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Springtime and men's libido, and men being able to control, work with, embrace their libido. Suffice it to say, I'm kind of freaking out, which I do every spring.
Still celibate?
Yes, I reached my 6-month anniversary at somewhere between March 22nd, my birthday.
Where's your birthday? Did I forget your birthday?
Yes, you did. You sent me an apology like a couple weeks later.
Okay, I'm so sorry. Happy birthday, Joshua!
Thank you.
God, I forgot everybody's birthday.
And
I'm lame.
And the 9th of April, somewhere in that zone. Yeah. And there was that momentary like, oh my God, I'm free. I can go. No, I'm not gonna. And then I, just wept a little bit. And at this point, I sort of consider myself, I'm still celibate, but I'm open to opportunity. I guess basically what I'm saying is I'm not looking for frivolous experiences. I realize my own habitual patterns, my own loneliness triggers and fear triggers that cause me to go want somebody to make me forget about it. Makes me want to have relationship, intimacy, what have you. So before I will allow myself to be with someone, a lot of conversations have to happen, a lot of review, analysis, checking in. I've got to call you. I mean, all kinds of things have to be lined up before I'll jump into it with someone. Not that I haven't considered it. Like, I. And I said, do not.
Mm.
I won't go hunting. I won't go scouting for it. And getting familiar with communicating.
So you told us a story about walking through the grocery store, even forgetting about why you're there because you're tracking.
Mm-hmm.
Has that gotten better?
Depending on the day, yeah. I mean, I can enjoy seeing someone that I find really beautiful and arousing.
Yeah, that's normal.
And, and of course, I still want to develop my skills in how to approach someone, though I feel it. I wear the feeling of, wow, I let it go through me. And even if it makes me want to, stomp my leg and a little bit, I allow it to be there rather than, oh, I've got to find a way to do her. I've got to figure out how to make her want me. I'm like, whatever, dude. You have no idea who this person is. And even if you did find yourself in bed with this person, you have no idea after you're finished if you'd still want to be with that person. So back up.
Right.
And what are you really looking for here?
And what is it that you've decided you're really looking for?
Someone I can have a connection with.
Well, some would say that, hopping in bed is a connection.
Yeah, that is a connection at some level. Someone I can have a connection where I feel valued and they value what I bring to the experience.
Oh, baby, you make me so hot. That's enough value?
Well, having been part of Team Tantra, I've got a certain skill set, if you will. I was talking with a friend and she was like, wow, that's your superpower, Josh. I'm like, no. I have to test it out before I can really call it a superpower. So, some of the things about Tantra do generate some of those miraculous results in bed or wherever else that might happen. That being said, I'm looking for a connection where I'm not worried about that person discovering who I really am after the honeymoon or after the seduction, after the I'm going to impress you by being on my best behavior wears off. How can I really be myself with someone? How can I manage my tendency to automatically go into relationship mode? And I don't mean to say just be, but just step off the agenda of how quickly can I get this person in bed? How quickly can I make this? Here's a key one that my celibacy has brought to me. Letting go of the how can I make this person like me?
Right.
Looking at the different seduction communities, and they're improving their dogma a little bit. They're, of course, saying people shouldn't lie. And they're helping people get to a place where the men are confident enough to really be who they want to be and stop lying and covering up. But to find that middle ground where I can be nice if I want to be nice. I can be who I want to be. I can behave as who I am without being afraid that, oh, she's really hot, so I'm going to try to figure out exactly what she wants so that she'll let me get closer to her.
Right.
Forget that.
Well, so here's what I'm hearing a lot of. Let me jump in here.
Yeah.
Is this I? What I really want you to start doing is pre-qualifying the other person.
Well, yeah, that's something I've been thinking about this week.
Right. It's kind of like, okay, so not just pre-qualify, she's hot, I want to have sex with her.
Yeah.
But, like, what actual kind of woman do you want? Like, not just one that will have you.
I've been trying to figure that out.
That's kind of really the next point in the whole celibacy thing is how to make yourself, available. Most men you've been like, how do I make myself available? How do I make myself liked? How do I fit into what she wants so I can get there? Now I want you to sit back and think, all right, I got a little bit of handle on this. What is it I really want? Besides, if I place my values, like looks, ethics, whatever, most guys are like, oh, I want a hot girl. And I'm like, oh, great. You want a hot girl that cheats on you? No. Oh, well, okay. So maybe you want a woman that's has ethics or has commitment?
What? Ethics?
Wait. Where does ethics fall between boobs and the butt?
Well, I got to let you know that my fantasies have evolved, if you will, to if I were able to go into a bar or some social setting and approach a woman that I noticed, I would say, give me an idea of who you are. Tell me what you're about. And, so my fantasies are not the interrogation, but the how do I get to know you? Yes, every guy in this bar may want to do things to you and wish and hope to take you home tonight.
Right.
I'm not available for that. Tell me about you and why I should want to know you.
I would probably be saying something like, all right, so after we've had sex the first time and we both thought it was great, why would I still want to be here?
Ah.
I mean,
I like that.
I've used that. Hey, you, not on a woman, but,
right.
So what would be my reasoning for wanting to see you again? Why would we want to do more than just have sex the first time?
Right. I like that. I'm opening up my email.
He's writing it down.
This is scripting 101.
Wow. Just be yourself and follow what Tanya says.
Right. Be yourself. I promise not to repeat what other people say.
So that's a big part of it. There is like finding out, and this is for men or women. We're so coming from a desperation model of either sexual energy and wanting to get rid of it. I'm horny. I want to get laid. Some of these type of things. We're coming from models of trying to get something from somebody instead of like thinking about, what's this person about more than once? I love it when my friend Jason said, if you spend enough energy to want to do it one time, then, you should want to do it a bunch of times.
Well, I always want to do it a bunch of times, and usually the one time is like, how can we stretch this out to a 3-day experience?
Right, okay, so a little bit more than that, but okay, I got that part.
After the first week,
right.
You mean?
Right, yeah, after the first week. Right. Yeah, exactly. The charming rogue here, this is a guy who runs a seduction community online on Facebook. His question was, are you actually getting laid, or are you merely collecting numbers? And, so these guys, so most of the guys here, I'm getting laid and numbers are piling up, hookers count, right? That's funny. Not the ones in Mexico, it's a different country, different numeric system. Oh, somebody said hookers count, and this one woman wrote, not the ones in Mexico, that's a different country. And
when it's pennies on the dollar, it's just the effort is,
Yeah, I wrote I'm having sex and getting numbers, but...
Right.
So anyway, it's just funny what's out there and what people really are trying to get. I know it seems so important to men to have sex with beautiful women, and certainly I get that. I like to have sex with beautiful men, so I mean I understand that. But in the end, okay, you've done that. Maybe it's fantasy material. I don't know. Is that what it's for? It's like they're gone now. You lost them. You couldn't get past like holding their interest past that experience, or maybe you didn't want to. But then what?
Well, if you don't have a personality or a skill set, social skill set, beyond I learned the tools and the tricks to get this person in bed. I studied enough books to get a couple of O's out of her, and then what? And that's where some of these communities are starting to say the new man projects or create the ultimate man. And, hey, get a life, do things you enjoy, be healthy and fit, and expand your horizons beyond just, sports and, whatever else you're just man into. Be eclectic.
Oh, my God, I just saw something. I have Facebook. Learn Tantra anywhere in the world via Skype. Okay, so this... This is what the world's coming to. Anywhere in the world via Skype. How to work with your sexual energy, cover breath. Well, okay, and there's 41 people that are going to jump on there and learn Tantra via Skype. So, I mean, really what they should be talking about is basically, learn some tantric education over Skype. Anyway, yeah, very, very interesting. I don't think you can actually learn Tantra via Skype. You can learn some tantric philosophies via Skype, but not there. Okay, what were we talking about? Back to the what to do. You're in. So would you say that celibacy has been successful in
absolutely
making some changes?
Without a doubt. I mean, I still have my issues that I'm working on because they're mine, and at the same time, what I've gained, my own values that I've gained from being celibate for this period of time, it's allowed me to look at the quality of life I want to lead. I'm still working on some of the things that I was when I first started out. How do I feel about me? How do I feel about my life? And how do I use intimacy as my crutch or my drug? And so I've still got a road ahead of me.
But it brought about awareness.
Big time.
Okay, and so, because there's people out there that, heard you were celibate, or people that have written emails and said, well, what's up with that? And, quite frankly, I think all of us need a bout of conscious. Now, there's a difference between, conscious celibacy and I just can't find anybody to have sex with me celibacy. Conscious celibacy is where you know that you could go out and have sex with somebody. You could find somebody to have sex with. You could create the experience. But instead of doing that, you live with the not and find out what happens to you. What are you willing to give up? What are you willing to negotiate for? What kind of things? How else do you medicate yourself if you're not doing that? Do you turn to something else? Do you all of a sudden start sleeping a lot, or masturbating frenzily, or using porn, or eating, or drinking, or any, gaming, or any numerous things, a way of distracting yourself from, because, celibacy is not just about not having sex. It's about not having a relationship and finding out, all of that. It's about being in a relationship with yourself. And you can be in sexual relationship with yourself, but it's about finding out what those hooks are and those triggers are and everything else surrounding other sex and relationships and what you would do with that. It's a pretty big deal. I mean, 6 months, when you first started out this, you were kind of like, you kind of just jumped into it.
I mean, when I first heard about the concept, obviously I'd known about it, but some of the other members of the group were, for one reason or another, in a vow of celibacy or attempting. And it was like, I'm good, guys. Thanks.
I know. That was really funny. He's like, whatever, no, I'm fine.
My relationships. I wasn't making a big deal out of it, but I was just not volunteering.
Yeah.
And then when I got out of the last relationship I was in, I was sort of one of those, I'm done. I'm off the market. I'm crazy. I'm the one that has things to work on, and I'm dangerous to myself. So, recognizing what I compromise to be in relationship, to have intimacy, even if that's just someone to hold. So I was enthusiastic going into when I finally decided to, and, that didn't make it easy.
No.
For sure.
No, because anytime the part of it is when you say you can't do it, then it really, it's like you could have been celibate this whole time because there wasn't an opportunity.
Right.
And that would have been different.
Right.
But when you say you take a vow of celibacy and I cannot and will not have sex or even, you had to find out all sorts of things. Like I can't go here and I can't do this and I'm using that. So you found out that it wasn't just about being body to body with somebody. It was all the other areas you managed to create sex around. So it was a big experience.
Yeah, and to give to people, a bit of an idea of what those other things that Tanja means, going to some of the local social clubs, not necessarily sex play social clubs, although that was definitely one of the places that was off the list, even as a voyeur. But I went to an artistic gallery, if you will. We have a local bistro that has a performance group attached to them, and they hold events and venues. And I went to volunteer just to help out and be a member of their group. I think the body and healthy expression is important in our society, and sort of volunteered myself for the body painting thing, and then discovered that meant that my body was one of the bodies being volunteered for being painted. And I realized, okay, so being able to be part of things that involve nudity, sexuality, eros, it's like sugar to me. And I had to review it, and I asked you, does this jeopardize my celibacy? And you sat me down, eye to eye, face to face. What did you learn? What did you feel? What are you feeling now? And because I was able to run the gauntlet of your questioning, and that we were on the same line of scrutiny, I was given a pass. I was let to cross the border on that one, and realized I need to pull myself back from things that are like my drug.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and then you get to find out how, like I said, how many places you'll go to find that experience in seemingly innocent ways. You'll end up in places that feed that addiction.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like, oh man, and this too, really? Oh
right.
Man, it's like, I didn't know sugar was in this too.
Mm-hmm.
I swear it said it didn't have sugar in it. And there it was, the addiction.
Yeah.
So celibacy is, I had a very long stint of celibacy. My teacher was quite funny. My teacher said to me, you should do this vow of celibacy. And I was in my mid-20s or early 20s. And, high libido, high sexuality, and I'm like, what? You're kidding me? And he's like, no, 5 years. And I'm 5 years. 5 years.
Your teacher gave you the 5-year assignment.
Yeah, he said, well, as I found out later, he didn't actually say, he said it could be 5 years.
Right.
You see, now I didn't hear that. I heard 5 years. So, so it was kind of funny. So I said, okay, I'm going to be celibate for 5 years. So I created the commitment.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to be celibate for 5 years. Okay, so after I got to a couple of years, he was laughing one day and he said, oh, I didn't make it this far. And I'm like, what? What? And he said, well, I threw that number out. He said, I didn't think you, and you just jumped on it and went 5 years. He goes,
you were in a momentary shock experience?
Well, no, I had 3 or 4 days to think about it. I thought about it.
No, when you first heard it, and you heard 5 years.
I'm like, you are, yeah, bleep, 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 bleep out of your mind.
Yeah. Selective hearing within relationships, right?
Bleep, bleep. And, but I had said 5 years, and I'm like, well, and he looks at me and says, what are you going to do? And I said, I vowed, I did a sacred ritual around 5 years. I guess I'm going for 5 years. And in the middle of that 5 years shows up a man who was incredible. Mm-hmm. And I've told the story of just like, wow, okay, so resonant, so like, wow, okay, wow. And I tell him I'm celibate, and, he's like, okay, I'm okay with that. And I'm like, 5 years. And he's like, well, how far, are you into it? And I'm like 2.5. And, we hung for a while, and then he just said, I can't do it.
Mm-hmm.
And, but we kept in contact, and for, he still celibate.
Check back.
He's traveling all over the world, still celibate.
Right,
yeah, still celibate. And, I fully expected, year 2.5 years after that, I was going to get an email from him, and I don't know if he died or what, something happened, but.
Right.
Anyway, so it was intense.
Yeah.
It was intense.
Now, how long did your teacher last?
I think he had done like a 6 month or 8 year. I think it was a year or something.
So
like
he
that.
had vowed to do
a year. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Note to self: when your teachers throw a number out there, negotiate.
Yeah, what he said later was, well, you're supposed to create the experience that you think, and maybe I needed 5 years. Maybe that's what it was about.
But that's classic behavior management. you say to, when I used to teach and do behavior management and adventure programs for teenagers, it'd be like, so there's a consequence, and I could make it for you, or you could make it for you. And the student would always pick a much harder consequence than the teacher would have.
Yeah.
And in the end, sticks it out and fulfills it.
Yeah.
And even with a lot of kicking and screaming, I say, hey, you set the consequence. So what are you kicking and screaming about?
Yeah. Well, as it turns out, I'd been sexually abused and been ultra promiscuous in my early 20s, and it probably was exactly what I needed. There was a lot of thought, a lot of realization. I dated during that time. So I wasn't celibate from relationship, but and I tried different types of celibacy. So I tried the, I got a lot of time to experiment.
Yeah,
that was part of the cool. I didn't date at all. Then, I wasn't my own lover at all. I did celibacy, like no energy, no sexual energy from me, anybody else, anything like that. I did that. I did the, crazy
sexual energy from anybody else sort of would have,
Well, I mean, not leeching anybody else's, not putting myself in positions where somebody's ultra sexy and I'm voyeuring,
Right. Like
so I mean,
me
monk.
being in a room of 50 people.
No, yeah, exactly. Complete monk style, of that.
Break out the soy.
Yeah, exactly. No, I didn't know about soy. Then that would have helped. Excessive my own sexual energy, just running it rampant, but hanging on to it in just my own space without acting out. All sorts. So I got to experiment with a lot, and I got to find out a lot of things about myself and sexuality and relationship and what it was that I really crave in relationship.
What is that?
I'm a pretty big sex person. I mean, it's not, sex is one of, they don't have, did they have the love language? 5 love languages, sex. They've got touch in there, but they don't have sex. And that sex to me is an affirmation of life. So it's not, it's not so much even that just feels good type of thing, but it's actually an expression of creation. Like it's the cycle of ongoing, of hope and of everything else.
Yeah.
So, but it broke the old pattern of needing to validate and needing to be ultra good at sex to make sure my partner was, the old stuff from sexual abuse.
Right.
So it kind of took on a different experience.
Pleasing, accommodating, performing.
And of course, once you start back on the process, then... and you get back into relationship, you get to work on all the things that you get to work on in relationship.
Right, the things you thought you learned.
Right.
You get to test them out.
Right.
And you still get to
And you get to learn some more.
And you still get to work the relationship question marks that always come up.
Right. So the reality is you're really never going to get there. I know, I'm sorry. Sorry,
Wait,
Joshua.
What?
Right. We're always going to work hard at our integrity or impeccability, work on our growth. But, we're just not going to get there. And so striving for perfection is silly. Striving for impeccability is awesome.
Right.
And, and what does it take? What does it mean to be in a relationship that's impeccable? That's something not a lot of people know about.
That's a tall order.
What's impeccable relationship? Well... that's why modern Tantra is going to be so powerful, because we're going to work on all the foundational stuff. And I think it's going to rock the house. The 5 levels to life mastery. But between now and then, guess what?
What?
TV. Tanja on TV. Tanja on TV. What do I do on TV? You haven't ever seen me on TV. I've been on TV before.
Right.
I've been on Cairo and King 5. But I'm not, I'm not talking that kind of TV.
You haven't given me the scene yet. You're keeping me in suspense. So I need to know if it's like, the Ellen DeGeneres show, Oprah type of setting, or, is there going to be comfy sofas? Is there going to be trampolines? Going to be...
trampolines. Girls on trampolines. That's funny. I've seen myself on a trampoline. That's why I'm laughing.
Right.
I have video.
What are you going to do on TV? You're going to talk. You're going to, people are going to get to see your expressions and your laughter. Right. Don't do that.
Yeah. No, not that one.
I guess you can, We'll have to make sure the camera's on close-up.
I'll have to make sure that, that I actually don't spill food on my clothes before I do my interviews. And I can't pick my nose when I'm on TV.
Yeah, they ask you to not do that. Sort of like in sports, they ask the guys not to grab their groin.
Yeah.
Grab their head instead. They put your hands on your head.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So when all the guys put their hands on the head, you really know
that means they just got knocked somewhere else.
That's funny.
Unless they got hit in the head.
Right. Then they put their hands on their crotch.
That would be interesting.
So no, I'm actually going to have more of a format.
Mm-hmm.
We're actually going to go more into depth. All these subjects we talked on, like I talked about, like ejaculation mastery and women's bigger and better, meeting the hands of God and relationships. I'm actually going to take each one of these and actually break it down with how-tos. And so it's going to be almost like a series of online series of learning.
Nice.
Yeah.
Now, as an aside question, are there going to be purple robes and gold pillows?
I don't know. I guess we could do one with purple robes and gold pillows. And incense if people felt the need for that.
Yeah, they want to see the ashram setting.
I think that's fun. I think the thing when people are like, what is she? Is she going to be wearing this ball gown she's got on here in her Facebook profile?
Right.
What is she going to be wearing? I don't know. But I've got friends with boats and planes, and who knows?
Oh, so it might be on location anywhere.
Right.
Gotcha.
Right, and I'll be interviewing experts on all sorts of subjects.
Mm-hmm.
So there'll be other people other than me to speak with and learn things from. I think it's going to be fun.
It's going to be awesome.
I think it's going to be awesome, but the only way you're going to know, if you just came in, because for some reason you didn't listen to the first part on your iPod, learningtantra.com. Get your name and email address in the little box. And somebody asked me, I couldn't find the little box. Okay, so on any page, if you look to your left, there's a little box under what's it under there?
Well, I've just gone to learningtantra.com.
Actually walk you through the process.
And then?
Yeah, it's on the left-hand side.
You mean the one that says name and email?
Yeah, that box right there.
And click here now.
Right, and you get what?
Sign up now, 20 free videos, an ebook, Secrets of Tantra.
Sam is running right now.
And MP3 bonus value, $137.97 value. Don't be left out.
Yeah. And what happens when you sign up? We just sell your name to everybody on the planet?
Well, if we can make a buck. I mean, sorry.
No, we do not. We never, ever, ever sell or share or whatever your name. I retain your name. That is it.
Right. So you hold the names.
Yep.
And if you find something that's awesome that you think people need to know about,
I'll let them know about it. But I would be letting them know about it.
But you'll be letting them know about it as opposed to randomly, arbitrarily. How did I get on this list?
Right. No, that doesn't happen on my stuff.
Awesome.
And we're running a very, very, very tight ship on our email accounts, so there isn't any spam that happens.
Is that the line that says,
that.
I hate spam?
Yeah.
Your privacy is safe with me.
That's right.
That's a personal integrity statement.
That is a personal integrity statement. Yeah, you don't have to worry about that. So you go in there, and what are the 20 free videos on? Does it say?
It doesn't. Oh, wait. Receive 20 free videos on the top questions and answers about love, sex, and relationship.
Wow.
Get email lessons.
Yeah.
Email lessons and special.
Right. So basically, if you get on there, you get emails from me. Of course, you can read them. Jen, we're actually going to a new format, too. We're going to video emails.
Video email.
We're like on the cutting edge of technology.
Do I need
to
sign up again?
No, if you're already there, you're cool.
I think I'm already
If you're there, you're cool. But video emails instead, so you don't, you can see me talking to you or one of my team talking to you about the latest thing that we're doing.
I can see me talking to you.
Talking to you. Me talking to you.
I'm
me talking to me, right, exactly.
Good.
Yeah. You'll see somebody.
I can watch myself talking to you.
That's kind of. And we're coming up with webinars. We're going to have this whole webinar series, the TV thing, some teleseminars, and I've got, been holding back. I've got so many products that are sitting in the back vault there.
Nice.
Sitting in the back vault.
Ready to roll it out.
Yeah. And then, like I said, you want to be first in line with the whole modern Tantra thing. when we roll that out, because that technology is incredible. And kind of little exciting thing I want to talk about while I'm in the middle of this too. I think I can let I think I can let it out of the bag.
What?
I've been asked to jump on board as a project manager for Butterfly Global.
Really? What are you? As a project manager?
Right. So Butterfly Global.
Do they know what they're in for?
I told him. I said, you just hired Kali.
I mean, let's put the throttle up on this one and make sure things get done.
Yeah, exactly. So they wanted some action. They have an incredible program, and they just need some help. Mm-hmm. And so Max and I are kind of teaming up on that. And these guys have some rocking, amazing stuff going on. So Butterfly Global basically is a technology for implementing knowledge. Okay, like, we're done. We've got so much knowledge, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, everybody's going to workshop after workshop, taking class, taking this, taking that, taking the other. And no matter what, you've got to ask yourself, are you actually doing any of it? You know, how much money have you spent on self-help books, seminars, workshops, and whatever else? And do you actually use any of it? So thousands and thousands of dollars and hours and stuff. And the highest rate of actually following through, I think Tony Robbins has one of the highest rates in the industry, is 5%.
Wow.
So 2 to 5% of you, when you take a class or something like that, will actually follow through with it. Until Butterfly Global.
They're going to make sure it gets done.
This is going worldwide. This is a new language around numbers, just one tiny part of it here. But it takes the best of the best that's out there and creates a system of implementation. So not only do you can plug any knowledge into this, because, you know, I might plug modern Tantra into this technology.
Really?
Taught by a dynamo man. His name is Brett Treadwell. And great team of marketers and
Brett rocks, by the way.
Yeah,
just throw that out there.
Yeah, Brett's super cool, and so he's got this thing going on, Butterfly Global. You can find it on Facebook, and you can probably www.butterflyglobal.com and check that out. They also have a sign up. They're doing some webinars right now. They have a rockin' special on their workshop coming up in July in Indianola, which is just off of Kingston, which is just Edmonds Ferry to Kingston on the peninsula here in Washington. Yeah, so really close. And very, very amazing deal on that. But you go to Butterfly Global, and you can sign up there on their page. You get, guess what? I'm one of their joint venture partners, and you get my Conscious Breath V-book for free if you sign up with them.
Really?
Yeah, and not only my stuff, there's a whole bunch of other people's stuff, too, as bonuses. Some really cool people are giving away some amazing bonuses. So butterflyglobal.com, sign up there, learningtantra.com, sign up there, and you're hooked up pretty much into anything you need to be, for information and implementation. Implementation even bigger than information.
Yeah.
And it's very cool. The systems, I can't give it all away because it's his thing,
Right.
And we just are kind of doing this deal, so don't want to spoil it for everybody. But, so when you're learningtantra.com, you'll also be getting information about Butterfly Global, because I'm working on that project as well. And who knows, I may be on the stage doing some teaching there. Nice. So, it's a great, great thing. So, Joshua, 10, something minutes to go here. What do they think they want to know? What burning questions do you think people had over this year and a half? Were they wondering, were we an item?
What?
I don't know.
The mysteries, the intrigue.
I know. Were they wondering if Billy and I were an item?
And why did Billy disappear, and where did he go?
That's right. Why did the men producers keep leaving after time?
Well, in ancient tradition, men can only handle so much time that close to the goddess.
There you go. Sam, you've made it through, how many shows now?
I don't know, like 10 maybe.
Yeah, 10 maybe, and you're still hanging in there.
That's because he has red hair, and so he's used to being
pretty
close
fiery.
to the fire.
Yeah, he's pretty fiery. He's
an intense guy. He stays calm and holds a calm, cool exterior, but that's because he's used to the heat.
That's right.
It is. I was raised on amphetamines, and
he's there. Raised on
Speedy.
amphetamines. Nice. He's pretty mellow for a dude raised on amphetamines. Yeah.
What else do I think people want to know? I mean, the things that are up on my screen, dealing with the springtime energy.
Well, that's always comes back to we're sexual beings by nature. I mean, we are sexual beings, bottom line.
Mm-hmm.
And to ignore that is silly.
Mm-hmm.
But to be overrun by that is silly as well. So it's kind of like, what do you do with that? You do breathing.
I was breathing. The other day in the car, I did not ignore it. And I was at I would venture to say, I was trying to figure out what was going on for me. And I think I had a sustained 15-minute mild orgasm going.
Nice.
And it was pretty damn cool. And I was driving. We're not talking,
They think texting while driving is bad.
Yeah. Stay focused.
Orgasm while driving.
It felt like
he wasn't, and
I wasn't masturbating.
Yeah, I was going to say, come on, you need to tell people, otherwise they're going to be scared.
Yeah, let's be clear about this. I was not.
It was no
I
hands.
was touching only the steering wheel, and I had both hands on the steering wheel.
Right.
It was breathing. It was feeling. Yeah, I mean, from a springtime perspective and a guy perspective, I was experiencing being horny as hell.
Yeah.
I was experiencing, the springtime of the year. Women start wearing less clothing, and our bodies and our minds, everything's kind of going off and getting sharper. And I was just. What do I do with myself? I started doing the breathing that I've learned since I've been working with you, and just relaxing rather than tightening.
Mm-hmm. Opening up to it.
Yeah, and as I did that, I felt a fluidity in the feeling that I was having, and it just sort of sustained there. And I said, wow, it feels like I'm just in an orgasm.
Mm-hmm.
And, of course, it was delightful.
Yeah.
And, of course, my technical mind said, so this is the state if I want to have a woman have an exceptional experience while making love with me, to just hold.
Right.
Yeah. So not the porn star pounding away, but the sitting in the layers of bliss.
Yep.
And relaxing.
Yep.
And breathing. And so it was, again, would I have discovered that if I hadn't been celibate?
Maybe not.
Right.
Maybe not. And,
Likely not.
6 months, a year of your life if you're single. Some people, practice celibacy in a relationship as well, if both partners are on board, to kind of experience what else can they do with each other except for that. Mm-hmm. How deep and how intimate can they make their relationship without the sex? It's pretty interesting.
We'll have to have a book or a pamphlet just on that, because my mind, I don't know if you noticed, but my energy is like receding, just like, what? In relationship and celibate? Which, as much as, take 2 weeks off or
right.
So my mind wants to know, what would you do? What can you do? What's okay to do? What's things to stay away from?
Breathing together.
A lot of breathing. My mind says to allow arousal and orgasm and expression to be there, but just not be.
It depends. See, this is something to do something with. Like, take a break from intercourse.
Mm-hmm.
Take a break from intercourse and oral sex.
Mm-hmm.
Take a break from touching the quote unquote good bits and touch everything else for 2 weeks. Right.
I've thought about that a lot.
Right.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of different things to do, but what happens frequently when people take intercourse out of the mix is they stop doing anything.
Right. They try to shut it off.
Right.
And then they hide their expression or expulsion.
Right. So, and I had that in one relationship that was pretty toxic. I ended up with this thing called vestibulitis, which basically is a inflammation of the vaginal vestibule, and it's hurt so bad that there's no tampons, no underwear, no sex, nothing's going to be happening. It's just incredibly painful. It's a condition that but women have, and unfortunately, once they have it, they're told by the doctor it's incurable. They don't know why it's there, and that's it. I mean, if they're in relationship like I was, it's like being handed some kind of death sentence. And I'm standing in the shower going, I'm the tantric sex goddess. Mm-hmm. How in the world is this happening? Talk about irony. Why me? I cannot believe that, what's going on here? What is going on with the universe? This is what I get.
Did you get the answer right then and there?
No. Well, yeah, I did kind of get hit by a thunderbolt. It was like, because now I understand an issue that women go through or people go through. Maybe for men it would be impotence, I mean, so and I understood, like, wow, I get it. So what do you do? Well, in that relationship, nothing. I mean, literally, when that didn't happen, nothing happened.
Right.
And no matter all the tools I had, everything that I had that I could bring to it, nothing happened. It was like, that was.
Did you still experience arousal and desire?
Oh, I did, yeah.
Okay.
But there was not anything that happened in the relationship, because it's like, if I couldn't apparently have intercourse, then I wasn't even.
You didn't go there.
Right.
Stayed away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, so, wow, there's so many more options than that. And yet, because that option wasn't there, I was now a piece of furniture.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, happy to tell you that, of course, as soon as that relationship was over, I was miraculously cured.
Funny.
So how weird is that? How weird is that? So my body apparently said, we don't like this man.
We're done with it.
We're done with this man. Move on.
Be.
You may not be, but we're done. Yeah, right. The yoni is done.
Right.
The yoni is closed. Yoni land?
Yoni land is closed for repair, remodel.
That's right. So, everybody, we've just got a few minutes left here. We want to say again, I want to thank everybody for making this a fabulous show. Listen to all over the world. There is not a continent that this show is not received, or that people are not downloading or listening to, because I've gotten emails from all over the world, and I have had a super blast doing this. I'm going to miss this, and I'd be devastated if it weren't for the fact that instead I'm going to be on TV. Not the regular TV, not someplace you can go to Comcast and find me. The only way you're going to find me is if you go to learningtantra.com, look to your left, stick your name and email address in there, and get on with it. learningtantra.com, and find out where you're going to be able to view me in a series, Learning Tantra series, teleseminars, TV, webinars, lots more things coming at you. Yeah, it's going to be fun. You're going to meet all sorts of interesting people in the Tantra world. We're going to take it out live sometimes and hit the streets for some reality.
Live interview on location.
Right, it's going to be a blast.
So I might be able to get my at the social club, at the bar interviews.
That's right. You don't want to miss it. You want to get on there, and you on your iPod right now, get off, you on your bike, get off the bike, learningtantra.com. That's where you want to go. How many more minutes do we have? We have 2 minutes. All right, Josh, 2 minutes. I have to say the coolest thing about doing the radio has been, other than the fact that I love to talk to all these different people about stuff, has been the emails and the phone calls. I'm hoping that doesn't stop.
Yeah, being able to interact with somebody and have that direct communication, answering questions, and being able to problem solve right then and there, and realizing for how many other people it's so meaningful, so pertinent.
Yeah. Yep. Well, sexual abuse, we started talking about the last times, that brought up a lot of stuff for people, and just not people understanding that the whole women in their 30s all of a sudden feeling safe, and all of a sudden there's sexual abuse coming up when it hadn't before, and really wreaking a lot of havoc in relationships. And
or the first time they find a relationship with someone who's compassionate, and all of a sudden the walls that have been locked back open up.
Yeah. It's tough, but we're talking about that. We're going to talk about that more in depth on our TV series, and everything else that there is about learning Tantra, taking you into modern Tantra, probably fall or at the end of the year. And Facebook me, Tanja, Tanja Diamond, Twitter, Tantra Teacher, and look forward to hearing from you. Drop me an email, say, hey, gosh, I was a radio fan, hook me up with what you're doing next. And hopefully we're going to see Joshua on there as well as Max, and the rest of our team comes back from Africa next week. We've been in Africa for 3 months or something like that.
2 months, yeah.
2 months, yeah. Long time.
Yeah.
It seems like things are going fast. So we're counting down the clock. Counting down the clock. It was fun.
It really was.
I'm bummed. I'm sad.
But you'll have plenty to do this week. And you're getting... When is the TV thing
Well, see,
happening?
you just have to...
Oh, man, you won't even share it with me.
No.
This is serious, folks. If she won't share it with me, she is ramping up.
I'm telling you. You need to get there. learningtantra.com.
And some of the people that Tanja has access to that she'll be sharing with you, that's going to be cool.
Yep.
Stay tuned.
Thank you so much, everybody. And over and out. We're out.
You have been listening to the Tantra Love, Sex, and Intimacy Show with your host, Tanya Diamond. Visit our website at www.tanyadiamond.com. That's TANJA for more information on workshops and classes.